Rebellion used to be loud. It used to be something you could hear in the streets: chants, megaphones, crowds that refused to move. But in the digital age, resistance looks different. Sometimes it's a tweet, sometimes it's a whistleblower's encrypted file, sometimes it's just disappearing from the grid. Welcome back to AUTHOR.EXE, the show where we explore the stranger space between fiction and the future. I'm your host, John Luke, and today we're talking about digital rebellion and whether, in a world where technology watches and controls almost everything, we can still resist. We're going deep dive into three main things. Number one, how resistance has evolved in the cyber age. Number two, the real world parallels we're living through today. Number three, what cyberpunk and dystopian fiction teaches us about rebellion and whether it's still possible. Grab your neural links, keep your VPN on, and let's jack in. In the classic dystopian fiction 1984, Brave New World, even the grittier cyberpunk worlds like Neuromancer or Blade Runner, rebellion is physical. You had underground meetings, sabotage, printed manifestos hidden in the walls. But today, the battlefield is data. The weapons are lines of code, viral hashtags, or information leaks. You don't storm the castle anymore, you bypass the firewall. Here's an example: the Arab Spring, 2010 to 2012. Social media as a revolutionary tool showing the power of digital mobilization. The Hong Kong protests, 2019. Laser pointers to blind facial recognition cameras, mesh networking apps when the internet was blocked, like Ukraine's digital defense, 2022 until the present, using hacking collectives and open source intelligence to resist a larger force. And yet, here's the problem: every tool rebels use eventually becomes a tool of control. Governments and corporations now monitor the same platforms activists rely on. So the question becomes, how do you rebel when the battlefield is owned by your opponent? Cyberpunk has been warning us about this for decades. Think about V for Vendetta, a masked figure inspiring a city to rise against authoritarian control. Snow Crash, a metaverse already run by corporate power long before we got to Meta or Fortnite. Ghost in the Shell, where even your memories can be hacked, making the very idea of personal rebellion uncertain. These stories often show a small group or even just one person resisting overwhelming systems. But here's where it gets tricky. In modern dystopia, rebellion doesn't always mean victory. Writers like William Gibson and Philip K. Dick knew this. Their heroes rarely topple the system. They survive, they adapt, and in some cases, they make small cracks in the wall, hoping others will keep chipping away. It's less about the Hollywood overthrow and more about the slow, ongoing resistance. If we're living in a kind of soft, comfortable dystopia, then resisting isn't about one big move, it's about constant micro resistance. Here are some practical real world examples: platform hopping. Move conversations away from mainstream monitored spaces into decentralized or encrypted ones. I don't know if there are other platforms that we could use that would be as encrypted as they would sell it. But if you do have any suggestions, please do leave some suggestions in the comment section. Number two, digital minimalism. Easier said than done. I am using the platform to tell this story. Reducing your data footprint so you're harder to track. Collective storytelling, using art, film, and writing to expose truths mainstream platforms suppress. And last but not the least, skill swapping, teaching other how to code, how to secure devices, how to spot misinformation. I know, it's like I said, it's easier said than done. And here's where fiction plays a role. Cyberpunk and dystopian narratives act as training simulators for resistance. They give us the what if scenarios, so if we can prepare for the what now. Resistance isn't always about tearing the system down. Sometimes it's just about making sure you're still yourself in a world designed to strip you of that. The real danger is in giving up before the fight even begins. The belief that nothing can change is the most powerful weapon of control. So, the question I want to leave with you is, in your own life, your job, your online presence, your community, what's one small act of digital rebellion you could do today? It doesn't have to be dramatic, it just has to be yours. Thanks for listening to this episode of Author.exe. If you enjoyed it, share it quietly or loudly, your choice. And join me next time as we keep decoding the strange space between fiction and reality. So maybe the end won't come with a roar of war machines, but with the quiet hum of servers rewriting our reality line by line. The danger isn't just losing our freedom, it's forgetting we ever had it. In the shadows of the neon skyline, in the glow of a thousand unblinking eyes, the fight isn't just for survival, it's for the right to feel, to choose, to dream. Until the city sleeps, keep your pulse steady, keep your mind sharp, and above all, stay human.